And I know better than to listen to the people who are calling us names. I can feel the sunlight shining.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name's Brian, and today is Wednesday, May 22nd, 2024, and this is episode 703 of the Lots Project podcast, and it's titled Time to Catch Up, and I'll be chatting about the stuff in the works with our cabin build, products I'm checking out, and much, much more. First, let's check in the coffee crew and see who's hanging out. Grab a cup and hang out for about an hour. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everyone today? I'm doing a little better than yesterday, that's for sure. That is for sure. Got some closure, a little bit more closure yesterday. Was able to go and pick up Walter from the funeral home, which was hard, but good. Good for me, at least. My beautiful bride will be processing this for quite a while. Man, they were a team, and they worked really well together, and it's going to be hard. So I appreciate all the well wishes and all the thoughts and the comments, and overwhelming the comments on Walter's social media, and seeing all the people that he touched through the years. So, man, it's been great. It's been great. I'm not going to lie. I was an absolute mess for 5 days, and I think by now I've just ended up numb. Numb is a good way to put it, just after 5 days. But 5 days, we didn't really make any progress. I didn't really make any progress. Corey ended up off of work quite a bit. And man, when you stand still, the saying is when you're standing still, you're not moving forward, and you're actually moving backwards. It is completely true. And we kind of paused our life for 5 days, and it's got us behind. It is what it is. It had to happen. It happened the way it did, and we're getting through it, but it gets behind. And I thought I would take this opportunity to kind of reset, tell where we're at, what we're doing, and man, all the stuff in the works for us at the moment. And I really wasn't in the best space to do any show prep yesterday. So we're going to chat today, guys. So if you guys also have anything you want to chat about in the comments, let me know, and I'm happy to talk about whatever. But yeah, we're gonna do a little recap of what's going on, some products I got that I'm reviewing, and other things. So let's see who's hanging out. Pickle Pete, good morning, and thanks for the tips, bartender, on the way in. Yeah, you can always hit the super chat, the super thanks, the super likes over on Noster, streaming over on Noster this morning for the time being. I was messing around with that this morning, and it looks like something is going on with zap.stream to where I can't reload my my lightning balance there. Zaps that go to the show during the show go to my wallet, and then I have to fund a wallet that pays for the stream to go there. And for some reason, it won't let me send any. I think the inbound balance on their Lightning node is insignificant. So we'll take a minute and wait for them to get their stuff figured out over the next few days, and hopefully we don't run out of balance over there before the stream gets shut down, because Jim likes to watch the show over on Noster, and we're going to push that a little bit coming up here. That's another thing. So Pickle Pete in the crowd. Hunter, thanks for stopping at over there on Twitch. Jim, like I mentioned, here on YouTube, and then normally over on Noster. Rewilder Life, good morning. How are you? Thanks for all your nice words and being there for us. Chris Dixon, thanks. Chris says, morning crew, never apologize for pressing pause on life. Yeah, I mean, not apologizing really. I mean, I'm sure I did. I'm sure I said I'm sorry or whatever, but no, I really know that it's necessary. And I knew it was time to kick it in the ass again, or at least take that first step last night when I started thinking about the stuff I had to do. It was the first time in those 5 days that I thought about anything other than the dog. It was all of a sudden I was like, holy crap, I have a ton of stuff to do. And I think that was the point I realized that it's not over. The mourning, grieving, or whatnot is not over. It's just not all consuming for me. So Corey's going to take a shot at it today and try at work. We're not sure how that's going to go, but we'll find out. We'll find out. She will make it through. She is well experienced griever for sure in her life. If you ever get a chance to sit down and talk to her about her crazy experiences through life with death has been interesting to hear. Pip, good morning. Went to Top Golf for the first time. It's been 12 years since I picked up a club, and it showed. Top Golf. I've never been to Top Golf. I played a fair amount of golf when I was a kid. When I was probably got out there when I was like 3, 4. Dad cut the clubs off short and took me around in the cart and let me hit a ball every time he did, and progressed from there. I played about up into my early 20s, and then it was a kind of a thing where I found other things to dedicate my time to, and I wasn't getting any better. I was actually getting worse, and that downhill after you peak is it's really tough, especially for somebody at that age. And when you get frustrated and it's a lot of time, I just left. I was just like done. Sold my clubs and it is what it is. I'm sure I could pick one up and figure it out. But it's just nothing that has intrigued me enough to do it yet. Pickle Pete says, did you play Angry Birds at Top Golf? That sounds fun, actually. He says they got RFID chips in every golf ball and an electric grid landing area. I've seen the videos for sure. I've seen they do some crazy stuff there, and it looks, I mean, the concept is phenomenal. They have to be making just an absolute shit ton of money. So good for them. Good for them. What's in the cup today, yesterday, and today? We got FTO Blonde Espresso. Over the weekend, I was drinking a little bit of coffee, just relaxing, and it had to have something a little stronger for all the tears that were dropping in it, I guess. But the FTO Blonde Espresso was there for me, and it is a fantastic blend. It's one of Brian's, I would say, signature blends. He's very proud of this. And he should be. It tastes phenomenal, and it sits well on your palate. It wakes you up, and I'm never upset when I pull the random bag that I'm going to open out of my storage, and it's FTO Blonde Espresso. So if you want to try some, head over to foodforestfarms.com. You can use lots 5 for 5% off anytime, all the time, every day, plus always free shipping there at foodforestfarms.com. Or if you haven't tried Brian's coffee, awesome micro batch air roasted coffee. If you haven't tried it yet, you can enter lots 10, get 10% off, plus always free shipping. And once you experience the coffee, you're going to want to check out the C4 Club, join that, and the deals and the affordability of this premium product is fantastic. Once you get to there, it's not bad. He sells it for such a great price, even off the shelf. But once you dive into that C4 membership and experience the other benefits of working with Brian on a personal one-to-one level, it's fantastic. So I definitely recommend heading to Food Forest Farms and checking out the coffee. And by the way, Brian, Pickle Pete here in the crowd, Brian, Food Forest Farms, Scramblin', Sensei Scramblin'. He goes by many names. He's got many talents. He has started to produce music. He's been using AI to help him produce music to transfer his thoughts and soul into music. And he is about ready to release his first album on this Friday. You can find it free at the Food Forest Farms website under the One Take Records tab. Go check out that album and support one of our community members. Give it a listen, give it a download, give it a listen. Maybe it's not your thing. Maybe it's not quite your thing, but maybe you know someone that would enjoy it, and you can share it with them and change their life, because that's what music does. It changes our life. So foodforestfarms.com. He's a sponsor of the show. I appreciate all the love from Brian all the time. And go check out One Take Records. Pickle Pete says, FYI, Joe Rogan this week, number 2153, Terrence Howard interviewed Geometric Unity. It's amazing, worth your time. Jim says it was quite a show. I'll have to admit, I don't think I've ever listened to a full episode of Joe Rogan. I'm trying to think. I can't think of an episode I've listened to the whole thing. I've listened to clips, I've listened to parts, I've listened to excerpts. I've never listened to a whole episode, and it is what it is. It is what it is. Maybe I'll have to check this one out. It's hard for me to take 2 or 3 hours to do it. For sure. Checking out the comments here. Good morning, Jim, over on Noster. Thanks for stopping in. Looks like it's still rolling over there. Pickle Pea says, Joe says maybe 50 words in 2 hours. Yeah. I appreciate his interview style for sure. I've read a lot about his stuff. Jim says, I was just tried to zap on Noster with both ZBD and Wallace Stoshi, and both are experiencing issues. Did you tried to zap the show, the live stream? What about just straight to me? I'm curious if it's protocol wide or if it's just the zap.stream. Sorry guys, reading the notes here. I don't know who. I feel like I've heard the Terrence. I've heard that name before. Terrence Howard. I'm not. Rachel, it was episode 2152. If you're looking on Rogan, I believe Brian said it was this past week. So 2152, Terrence Howard. I'm not an answer. I'm not a movie guy. I'm not an actor guy. Like I'm pretty don't know much shit about anything past the early 2000s. I think we pick things back up in the mid-teens. Corey and I will watch random movies and old TV shows. So anything new on the edge or new on the cusp of being new or released, we're usually kind of in the dark about. Pickle Pea says, I never knew he was a genius. He was in disguise as an actor to please his mom. Okay, who did he play? Like, who is this Terrence Howard dude? Hold on, I gotta maybe if I get to look at him. Oh, okay. Okay, that guy. I do know that guy. I can't tell you what he was in or who he played, but I definitely recognize the. Was he an American Gangster? Also, not as a lead, but interesting. Cool. Anyway, let's move on here. But don't forget foodforestfarms.com. Check out new music. Check out the new music. Listen to it for a few minutes. Is he from Friday Night Lights? Who was he in Friday Night Lights? Oh, check out Food Forest Farms. First Food Forest Farms for that One Take Records Seattle full album release this Friday on YouTube. It'll be on YouTube this Friday. It's for free right now at foodforestfarms.com. So what do we have going on? I got on my list here the Daily Stoic. I feel horrible. It's been days, and probably at the time that I should be reading it more intensely, more dedicated, more seeking it out, I would say. It just it hasn't been on my radar. The books here right here. I haven't read it. Schedule has been weird. So yeah, I'm like 6, 7, 5, 7, 8 days out of practice, which definitely got to swing back into. Corey and I discussed a lot about changing routines and letting this event that's happened to us unexpectedly and that's kind of really thrown us for a loop, trying to take and make the best out of it and miss Walter, but use his absence as a catalyst for changing some things, for changing routines that we had got into, for changing habits. We've looked back at our life many times together as our anniversary yesterday. It was fantastic, guys. It was such a wonderful anniversary. Corey and I, oh my gosh, it was the most love filled day of our lives. I got to go pick up Walter and hang out with her all day. And thanks, Skishaloo. We didn't get rid of the bouncing quite yet. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. So we're trying to transition with the change. So with losing him, our routines are changing completely. We were down from 3 giant dogs, which really, in all practicality, takes 2 people to walk, unless you're walking them individually, which then takes 3 times the dog walks. We are transitioning to less. The vibrating will continue until morale improves. Morale is improving. Morale is definitely improving. And Jim says it's a Noster issue. I couldn't send through Noster either, so I sent them directly with Albie. How did that work? Did it work all right? Let me pull this up and I'll tell you. Hey, thanks, Jim. Jim, it did pop in directly through Albie. So all of Lightning, they haven't turned off Bitcoin Lightning yet. It's just something with the Noster protocol at the moment. I'm sure it will end up. Chris Dixon says you need to mount the camera on a chicken or a pigeon. Better camera stabilization. The pigeons are already cameras. I just need to be able to tap into one. So with Walter being gone, we're definitely changing routines. And Corey and I realized that this transition is similar to other transitions we've had in our relationship. Things happen serendipitously, I guess is the word. Synchronicity. Yeah, I don't even know if these are words. They happen at the right time, maybe for the wrong reason, maybe we initially think that it's the wrong reason. But we both really quickly looked at each other and said, our project that we were going to do with Walter, now without, got extremely more efficient, easier to deal with, figure out, and plan and enact this plan without him. And I hate to think, I'm not happy that he's gone by any means. If you watched the show yesterday, I think you can tell that. But making the most of a shitty situation is really what you got to do, and it's going to make life easier. It's definitely going to make life easier. So we're making those transitions. We're making those habit changes that we are automatically changing because we no longer have to do some things with him, some extra things with him. It's definitely, he was definitely more than a third of the work. Sorry. Oh man. Wow. Sorry guys. I wasn't even choking up. I was crackling in my voice there. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna lose it again." But I was actually just coughing. But he was definitely more than a third of the parts, and so we're changing routines naturally with that, and we're gonna apply that to our whole lives, really, and try to honor his memory by making ourselves better. Doing everything we can to make ourselves better. So, in part of that is getting out there and getting rolling on the cabin, and the cabin build was in the swing of things. We were in the infancy stages when all this went down. If you think back, or if I think back a week ago, a week and a half ago now, with Carrie Brown had been out and we looked at sites. We Corey and I finally made our final decision on the site we wanted. I went out and put time towards Delinquent Gully for a couple days. We got some things ordered that we wanted for initial setup when we were getting up there and starting to work. And I went out and worked on the nursery for a few days, and our plans were to spend the weekend out clearing, marking which trees we need to fell, and really prepping the site to get going. And that obviously didn't happen. So we lost at least a couple days out on the property, getting started. I ended up getting a little behind this week because I didn't do anything over the weekend beyond that. Also, the beginning of this week, I've missed my video editing day. I have just a ton of videos that I have raw footage of and filmed that just need to be edited. Really, really hard to concentrate and pay attention and make things coherent when you can't concentrate. So yeah, that's all on the list. But the things were in the swing. We were ready to go out this weekend and clear and pick out spots for a soft-sided garage that we ordered and that is here. And I can't thank Jamie at Off Grid Ping enough for letting us send the stuff to his place down the road from where we need it, and let us get it delivered there and hold on to it till I can make it out and move it. We also had the good fortune of I interacted with a company on Amazon that sells metal sheds, and I was able to work a deal with them to do some content for I believe it's a 10 by 12 metal shed, something like that. 10 by 10, 10 by 12, 10 by 8. It's a metal shed. It's a metal garden shed. Pretty decent one, it looks like. The reviews are so. A lot of the reviews are about installation and setup, which hopefully I'll be able to do some good content on and help them out. But that arrived. So I have a 300-pound shed. That's the total weight of the boxes for the shed. There are 3 boxes sitting at Jamie's that need to get moved to the property and then moved up to the property site. And then we also ordered our soft garage that we were talking about getting, the soft-sided 10 by 12 like canopy garage, tarp garage. We picked that up. Our rugs arrived that we're gonna lay down on the floor. They're just like our camping rugs that we have outside our camper. We need to order another one of those for the shed because I ordered the rugs for our garage specifically for them, and then the next day the shed company, the metal shed company, was like, "Yeah, we'll send you one out. What's your address?" And I was like, "Oh wow, I didn't expect that." So that shed doesn't have a floor. It's your typical metal garden shed that sits right on the ground or on pallets or on a platform you build. But it's the right size for another one of those rugs. So got to order another rug and get that. And once we get everything cleared up there, we'll be able to install them. But hopefully today, tomorrow, and this weekend, we will be finishing the trail. There's still some a little bit of deadfall to cut out of the one trail that we're thinking is going to be the easiest to traverse up there. Rewilder Life says it's going to be an interesting hike up. Chris Dixon says you're going to need a big wheeled wagon to pull stuff in. Yeah, and that's part of the week this week is figuring out transport up there. That's something I've been thinking about. I've been pondering. We've been looking at the few different paths that are already cut in to get to the location. We had the benefit of being there over the winter and kind of getting the landscape, a picture of the landscape without the foliage. Now that the foliage has come in, everything looks level. Everything grows to the same height, whether it's 7.5 feet or 4 feet. The ground goes like this and the plants all level off, so it gets really hard to see where you want to cut through, and it's a lot of work to get someplace that doesn't really make sense. Backwoods says I suggest a donkey. I am the donkey. I think it was one of the Beatles said they were the walrus. I am the donkey. We do have a cart that I've been thinking about. I have been considering a rickshaw type system, or another type of big wheeled cart, like Chris Dixon says. Grab some scrap bikes or whatnot around here in an axle and just make up something small. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be super elaborate. Basically, it needs a spot for something to rest and roll on the wheels as we push it up the hill. We got one really big hill. We got one really, bless you, sweetheart. We got one really big hill that we have to traverse. Other than that, it's a lot of distance to cover. It's permaculture, right? It's permaculture is the more intricate the design, the more difficult the design, the more beautiful the solution. I got a lot of time to work out there that I'm not working on my stuff. Tim and I have an arrangement that I'm working on the property as a whole, in exchange for some of the property. So I have a lot of time there that I will be working on physical labor, on trail maintenance, on working on the nursery, and that gives a lot of time for my brain to spin and be there and really determine the best way to move stuff. Pickle P says, stop by the dollar store and get a bag of mini chocolates, spread them around liberally. Maybe you'll get a pack of Oompa Loompas to move in. Yeah, Oompa Loompas. I got a semi midget that I live with. She might be able to call them in. We've always argued, Corey and I've always argued that she is more average height than I am. And I always tell her no. And we always end up looking it up. And she is well within the average height for a woman. And I am way the fuck outside the average height for a man. So for me to bust on her about her height is kind of opposite, I think. Pickle Pete says she's Loompa. Like, I would not call my wife an Oompa Loompa. I just may call her a little person. Pip says, careful with the Oompa Loompas. When they start singing, someone dies. Backwoods suggests a Mad Max style lawnmower. I have thought about some electric motor drive, some gas motor drive. It's it's an experiment waiting to happen, really. If I wasn't in such a hurry to go, it would happen a lot quicker, or I would have a lot more opportunity to mess around with solutions. But I think it's going to be a lot of hard work, a lot of sweat, and a lot of sore calves. Pickle Pete says we know why Kyle wants a donkey. Yeah, Kyle is planning on coming out here for SRF. Kyle, are you planning on staying out at Delinquent Scully, or are you going to be a puss and need to stay in a hotel room? Because if we have a donkey, I mean, you can hang out with the donkey. Dixon says Kyle's offering to drop the deck on his new JD and drive it down to help. Kyle, I saw photos and videos of John Deere shopping. Was that actually what you were doing? I've been absent of social media. I apologize for anybody that I follow that I keep up with, and I don't know what's going on in your life. I've been in the dark for 5 days or so. Just reading baby Walter comments constantly consumes my online time. But man, did you pick up a new JD? Because that'd be super cool. Kyle says we're not normal. Like, you mean height or just in general? Because I would agree with both. I would definitely agree with both. Rewinder Life says get extra magnesium and potassium this week. Yeah, for sure. I may have had a couple glasses of wine last night in celebration of our boy. I had a couple glasses of wine with Corey, and dehydrated is a good word. Is a good word. Between all the tears, between not keeping up with water, between drinking extra coffee to kind of stay awake because I wasn't sleeping very well, and then adding in a couple glasses of wine, I'm definitely feeling dehydrated this morning. So the hydration factor will be it will definitely be on the forefront, and magnesium and potassium for sure. Corey did give me a banana yesterday. That was a nice surprise. I didn't tell you guys that it was yesterday morning. So no, I wouldn't have. So yesterday, and then we'll get to some products that I got on the list here that I've been making videos of that I'm checking out that are pretty cool. So yesterday the show was a mess, and I appreciate everybody that hung out and made it through it. If you listened to it, it was what it was. It needed to be done for me. I think it helped me move on. It helped me do this today easier. By doing that, let me tell you guys how much that dog meant to me, because like Corey and I discussed, is you guys heard the bitching, you guys heard the bad things, you never heard the good things. So that was important, and it was just important to talk about him, I think. So yeah, we got done with the show, and it was our first walk without him in the morning, which was tough for sure. We've yet to have anybody stop and ask where he was. I think that'll be the next thing when the people around town start noticing that it's 2 and not 3. I think that'll get tough. But we went on the first walk without him yesterday morning, and we were walking along. It was Backwoods says, so I'm naming one of my piglets Walter and bringing it down to you. Not if you're going to slaughter it, you won't. And we don't have the infrastructure for a pig, you dipshit. You know better. Maybe by then. But anyway, we got on the walk, and we were enjoying the walk. It was a beautiful morning. Clyde and Norman were behaving wonderfully. They were a little confused. They're doing okay. They're doing better than I would have thought. But I think they're relieved. I think that they were kind of on edge. I think we were all on edge. I'll talk about it in a second, but the vibe here is way different. But we were on our walk. It was sunny. It was dry. It hadn't rained in a few days. And all of a sudden, about halfway through the walk, Corey looks down in the sun. We're like walking through the trees, and there was sun and shade and sun. And she looks down, and there was a huge, like huge snail sitting on the road. Like, no reason why it should have been there. She's always finding them on the road, but she's finding them after a night of rain, early in the morning. When we go earlier, we had gone on a later dog walk, so it wasn't necessarily even still dew. It was dry and it was getting warm. And the snail was just there chilling. She looks down. She's like, "Oh my God, we weren't looking for them. We weren't paying attention to them." She grabs it, and I giggled and put my hand out and said, "Well, I guess that's my job." even though you have one hand open now, it's my job. And so we carried the snail home. Turns out the snail was slightly larger than the largest one we already had. It had no business being out, walking around, or anything. So the woo-woo in us kind of looked up. And thought maybe the universe was just balancing out. You lose one giant friend, you get a different giant friend, and just depends on if they're a giant in their world or ours. So that was really cool. Corey got to get a new pet. We have eggs. Corey, did you say that we had extra eggs yesterday? Corey may have had more wine than I did yesterday. She thought we had more eggs in the tank, but we don't. Only have one set of eggs, which we are patiently monitoring. Pip says the universe promotes life. Hey, Mike's Homestead, how we doing? Morning. How are you? Way to step up. Mike, I saw a message from you from the Monday show that you were having trouble with your Jade. Are you still having trouble? Was that able to do the software or firmware upgrade for you? Or are you still stuck? Because I will reach out and get answers for you if you need them. Just let me know. Anybody. If anybody has trouble with the Jade, and I can't help you, or you get stuck, let me know. And I usually hear back from Drew in a couple hours, if not within the day. So any questions or any problems, let me know, and I will try to get you an answer or get you the help you need if I can't do it. So I appreciate everybody watching Monday that did check it out. I hope that you're enjoying the little Bitcoin run. But we brought our snail back and integrated him into our snail home. I think we have, are you saying 8 or 9? 8. I think we're at 8 snails. About to be like 88 snails when these eggs hatch. So I'm already spinning on a plan for that. I think I'm going to look locally on the garage sailor sites, on the townie sites, and see if I can find a giveaway aquarium or something like that to start replicating these snails. I think it's going to go fast when it goes, and who knows? I did the episode on the long-term goals with those, but we're going to be quickly overstocked in our current tank. And if I want to do a live stream, I'm going to get I'm going to have to get a clearer enclosure. Mike said no, it never would update. Okay, man. I'll message you today. It might be later this evening. I'll put it in my phone to get a hold of you. I'll shoot you a direct message and we'll see if we can figure out what's going on. If not, I will get you answers for sure. Rewilder Life. I don't know if we mentioned on the show last week. I think it was last week. Some of Rachel's friends here in Tennessee, and it was both your friend and their kids, if I believe. But I know at least one family basically lost their complete house in a tornado in Tennessee here. She showed pictures that they were in the basement and the house was just gone. Like everything they owned was gone in an eye blink. So they okay, Rewilder said they lost 3 homes and their business. And Ryan Hall, y'all, the online weather sensation that I've heard so many different people. I've seen like one little clip of the guy in my life, like actual clip. I probably heard about him more than Willard Scott at this point. But it looks like he gave them $30,000 to help them get started again. So that's pretty solid. That's pretty solid. I'm sure that he's a very generous man with his newfound wealth on the interwebs, because I can't imagine that he isn't capitalizing on that. And good for him for giving back in the community that he watches, that he helps, that he cares about, obviously. So Rewiler Life says they were watching him last night. West of us was getting hard. Yeah, we got potential for severe weather this weekend. We're at the point right now, we're in this transition, we're in this limbo where we're just like cross fingers and let's rock and roll and see what happens. It's been something that we've had to come to terms with since we took off. And it's been okay. It's been okay. We are in kind of a hotbed zone for that kind of activity. And yeah, I wish I had a better answer for it. And soon enough we will. Soon enough. That's something that's in the forefront that needs to be addressed as we transition to the cabin. But at this point it is tough. It is tough. It does get a little easier to load into the truck for a little bit of more rigidity and safety if need be. But yeah, I don't think the shelter is going to take us in with our two large dogs. I do know we have friends close, but what is close when a tornado's coming? Is it 20 yards or is it 12 miles? So it is what it is. It really is. We watch, we try, we stay informed, we know what's going on, and we'll figure it out as it comes. One thing Corey and I have noticed around here for sure is there's a different vibe right now in the camper. I don't know if it's the somberness over the weekend. I'm sure that has changed quite a bit. I don't know if the dogs are feeding off us. Then we're just kind of really, really mellow. I don't know if maybe they were all amped up for quite a while with nervousness around Walter as he kind of declined. And Corey and I are really reliving and going back and making posthumous observations that we really think that it's probably been the last few months or even longer that he's been in decline. And this just really showed it as it accelerated at this point. But I don't know if the other boys were nervous, if they were on edge or what. But it feels like the air was let out of the room. Everything is a lot quieter. Everything is a lot calmer. There's no constant shuffling. Walter was really keen on, even when he was a puppy before, and when he had tons of room, in the house, when he didn't have his brothers around, he was constantly shuffling spot to spot to spot to spot. He'd get warm. Whether he went and laid back down in the same spot, he was always kind of checking out. I talked about him sleeping in the bathtub yesterday, and he would come out and peek around the corner and then lay down, go back in the bathtub or go lay down somewhere else. He continued that in the camper, and with limited spots. It wasn't that there weren't multiple spots. There wasn't that there were multiple open spots, but they all wanted to lay in the good spots. So there was a lot of shuffling. There was a lot of moving. There was a constant parade in here. with him gone, it really is calmed down. They have one more spot. Like it's not even significant in the number. These dogs never lacked for room, and they always wanted to be on top of us. But now it seems that they stay put longer. They are sleeping more soundly. It feels just more comfortable. And we're wondering if they were struggling too. So it's interesting. The dog that calmed me down, the dog that made me step back and breathe and laugh and got me through some really, really stressful times, may have been keeping the stress level higher than it needed to be. We don't know. We'll see if this continues or if it's just a letdown after his departure. But it definitely has a weird vibe in here. Had a tough time last night. One moment, and I think I'll be able to get through this without breaking up. But I went to lay down last night, and so Corey goes to bed earlier than me. I usually stay up. I set up my show. I do some work. I try to get some stuff done after the fact. And the two younger dogs go to sleep with Corey. Clyde is next to her all the time, especially when she's sleeping. Norman usually goes in and hangs out in there. And Walter always stayed out in the living room. He plopped around. He got a drink of water. He had some other weird habits that he would do, but he was always clicking around. He was always clicking around with his nails on the floor. And then he would eat. And when he would eat, he would take a bite, and then it would rain hard dog food on the floor. So it was like tink, 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 tink. And then he would get a drink of water. And this dog, literally, Corey, the couple days before we put him down, we really observed him, and Corey got a video of him drinking for over a minute straight out of a bowl. It's a long time. A minute is a long time. A minute is a long time when you're laying in bed and the room is silent and all you hear is a dog lapping out of a dog bowl for over a minute straight. And then taking a bite of food and dropping all the food all over. Tink, 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 tink. And then going over and flopping down and laying down. And then starting to snore. Last night when I was laying in bed, I got the show set up and I didn't do a whole lot after that. I just laid in bed and kind of thinking and going through things and trying to fall asleep because I was pretty exhausted. And it was quiet. It was really quiet. And that was tough. The silence was tough. So another day of it, it'll be fine, and we'll get through it. But yeah, it was something. Those things hit you, and you never think that they will. When he was doing it, when he was here, I couldn't wait till he stopped so I could go to sleep. I couldn't wait till he was done drinking so I could go out and change his water one more time so he didn't irritate us all night for clean water. But the minute it was gone, all I wanted was for it to be back. So there's that, and there is that. I mentioned that I got a bunch of videos in line that need to be edited, which that's going to be happening in those post Corey bedtime work sessions. But yeah, I got some pretty cool products I got my hands on. I've got videos I'm super happy with. I'm using them. One is a 10 by 10 pop-up canopy tent that you would use at like a farmer's market, that type of thing. Got one of those, which will come in handy when we are out at Delinquent's Gully, when we're working on our property, if we need to get out of the sun or maybe out of the rain. Just another little pop-up shelter. I did a pop-up unboxing and putting it up for the first time video. Pickle P says, or a festival. Yes, or a festival. It'll be great for the Lots Project vendor tent and stuff like that at SRF, or as we get to travel around to promote Delinquent Scully. Once that happens, it's just a great thing to have. But I've had one before. We've had several. And so I had an idea of how they went together. This one I put up by myself for the first time, pulled it out of the bag and put it up in under 10 minutes. It was done. It was fantastic. I took it down in under 10 minutes by myself. With someone else, this was a 3-minute pop up and good. It came with a nice carrying bag. It came with fillable weights, like corner weights. Hot tip: if you do have Pickle P says one person up. Yeah, I mean, I got it up by myself. I got it up all by myself, and no, you can put it up by yourself. It takes a little knowing. I've set up for farmers markets by myself enough that once you understand how it goes up, you can work with it to make it happen by yourself. With two people, it's super easy because then you can get one person on either side. With one person, you got to kind of like move one leg, move to the next leg, move that, move to the next leg, move that, and then eventually it gets far enough open that you can pick it up a little bit and move it all from one point. But definitely doable by one, and definitely easier with two. It comes with the weights, but hot tip: if you have a tent like this and you need weights, a lot of people will use milk jugs, like a gallon milk jug. But if you think about it, a gallon of water is only 8 pounds. You're going to want probably three or four of those on each corner. That was Minnesota Wind. They suggested 20-pound weights, I believe, 15 to 20-pound weights on each corner. Some of the farmers markets we did actually required it for insurance purposes. So what we did was use dumbbells. We used 25 or 20-pound dumbbells. Pickle P says 5-gallon bucket if you got access to water. Yep. 5 gallons of water would be over 40 pounds. So that works. Half full works even great. But these came with these like sandbags. Pickle P says 40 pounds was the insurance for the farmers market where they were. Yeah. So definitely go more than a gallon of water. These bags that they sent, I don't think are big enough for what we needed. As far as weight, I was trying to picture what you could put in these bags, but they did come with soft-sided bags you could fill with something for the weight and the bag, and the bag's got wheels on it. And so it's quality. I think it's a definite recommend. It is they're kind of a dime a dozen. Chris Dixon says we use the old plastic weeder 20-pound weights. Yep, you could probably find them at a Goodwill or someplace like that pretty cheap if you don't have any laying around. Ours were dumbbells. Ours were 20 and 25-pound dumbbells that we used. The flat weeder weights would probably work really good. Anything you can tie a string to. So I got that. I got the video done of that. It just needs to be edited. That was a pretty cool product. Iceco. I don't know if you guys have heard of Iceco. They make portable refrigerators and freezers and things like that. 12 volt, 12 or 120 volt portable refrigerators. They sent me out a Go 20, I believe is the model. It's a dual zone refrigerator freezer that you can run off 12 volt. You can use the 120 volt adapter, control it by Wi-Fi. It has a quick cool mode. It's got a regular cool mode. Like I said, it's dual zone, so it's got a divider that slides in that can make it a freezer side and a refrigerator side. And it's about yay big. You don't know how big that is. Maybe 3 feet or less. I'll have to get the dimensions. I haven't really looked into it much. I unboxed it, took a look, and then my life went sideways. It's it was pretty it's pretty cool product. I'm excited to get it on, to turn it on and experiment with it, to use it maybe when I go get groceries to see if the drive is enough time to get it cool, and then have it unplugged while I'm in the grocery store, and then come out and put it back in, turn it back on, and see if it keeps our frozen stuff frozen or our cold stuff cold. That is the real deal here in the South. It was a little concern in Minnesota when we were an hour away from the grocery store in the summer. The car gets hot. You got to transport frozen or cold things. We always had a soft side cooler, which was sufficient in Minnesota. Like once you got in the car and turned it down, the heat here is a little more intense and a little longer season. So we've been using that soft side cooler. It's been working great. But having to think about that, it is what it is. I think this in the car to do that would be a fantastic idea. We're also thinking that these would be great for a little portable refrigerator for the cabins at Delinquent's Gully, to where if a specific person was renting and they wanted to do some sort of full concierge service where we provided food and whatnot that they ordered, we could pack these portable refrigerators, take them down, and then run them off the 12-volt power that we have in the cabin, or the 120-volt power for that matter. It's got a really cool battery saver thing. So if you have it plugged in and the voltage drops below a set point, it will kill the compressor, so you don't drain your batteries. This isn't going to be a constant draw on there. If you have a shitty day, it will go into power saving mode to where it will kick off until the battery power comes above that voltage. I think that's a really cool safety function, especially when you're doing off-grid and limited power supplies. Pickle Pete says, is it Zero Brand? No, it's IceCo. ICECO, just IceCo, all one word. Chris Dixon says, if they'll run on solar, that would be cool. They will. They run 12 volt. They have basically a cigarette lighter. Is the standard cigarette lighter plug is the standard plug for it, and then it comes with the AC inverter. So I think with the amount of power that it's going to use, the power loss and the conversion to say a Blue Eddy. So if we went solar to Blue Eddy to AC to the cooler converted back to DC, I don't think it's we're going to lose too much efficiency there, or figure out how to rig it to the solar directly. That could get kind of wonky with static power, and if the sun goes below the clouds, it might trip it out for some reason. I don't know. We'll see. IceCo also asked if they could send me out this camping chair. Now this thing is a trip. I gotta. This is just initial reaction getting this camping chair. So it's like $150 camping chair. I was excited to get it. I'm like, $150 camping chair. It's got to be fantastic, right? I have to look at it more. Now, to be fair, I pulled it out of the bag. I popped it up real quick. I sat in it right away. I looked at it. I felt the material. I checked out the construction. And I don't know if I went through the motions of actually setting it up properly. Pickle Pete says, did you tell them you're a giant? I didn't, but I also had Corey sit in it, and she was like also confused. So I'm hoping that I didn't open it up properly. I didn't get it set up properly. I don't know what I did, but the chair was wholly uncomfortable. It had like a ridge running down your back. Like your spine literally sat on a post all the way down the middle. It had like a flip up back. So when you stored it, it was shorter. It fit in a smaller bag. And then when you open it up, you flip this back part up. So it was like a headrest. And when I sat down, it just like flipped down on top of your head. I don't know if that has a locking mechanism. I was just like, oh my God, $150 for this. And I put it back in the bag. I was like, I'll look at it more when I get some time. And I haven't had time yet. So all I've been thinking about is this $150 lawn chair that I would probably not pay for $1. And these things get me in a bind because I now need to reach out to the company. Actually, I do need to take it out and give it a really good go over, see if it's user error, which is quite possible, definitely possible. But if it isn't, if I go through it and it really is this, I now have to talk to the company and be like, I agreed to do a video for you. The video is going to be recommending that no one buy this thing. Do you want me to make the video? It's an odd situation to be in. And making the video, since my purpose in this right now, okay, Toolman Tim, and while he was down here, and I talked a lot about focusing on what the actual goal is. If you watch the content creator roundtable we did a long time ago, not that long ago, but a while back with Kyle, Backwoods Butcher, me, Tim, Nicole Sauce. One of the questions I asked about YouTube is why do you do this? Why do you do your podcast? Why do you do YouTube? Why do you do content creation? And Tim, without skipping a beat, said to make money. Kyle kind of wavered, but was to make money. Nicole was, making money. And I was like, YouTube I do for me. It was more of a documentation thing, this and that. Tim and I had a lot of conversations while he was here and about making sure you have the right intentions. Chris Dixon says, can you make a video, explain, don't trash, and send it to them? That's what I do. That's what I really do. I would explain why I don't like it, why I don't recommend it. It wouldn't be trashing it. It wouldn't be this is a piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. It would definitely be tasteful. And I would send it to them first, but I will reach out to them before I put the time into making something like that to see if they even want me to. But if my intention in making these videos and getting these products and reviewing these products was to review them and long-term review them, recommend or not, my focus would be on making money with my YouTube channel, with views, subscribers, and growing that. My intention with these products right now is solely Amazon. The YouTube review videos is a byproduct. My intention is to make these videos, explain what the product is, and get them on Amazon to make money. Cut and dried, to sell products. Bad reviews, not bad videos, but bad reviews. Reviews of bad products don't sell products. Wild Life says, I suspect your cabin build will be a hit. Yeah, that is something that is going to go on the Lots Project YouTube channel. And Corey and I have been discussing that, like what we do with this. Delinquent Scully is going to get its own social media. It's going to be about the whole project as a whole. Tim's part of it, our part of it together. And then our cabin, our personal stuff, I think we're going to keep on this channel. It's hard. This channel was never, we started it with the dreams of making money, blah, blah, blah. We realized that we do it for other reasons, or I realized I do it for other reasons. But right now, my Amazon videos, my products that I promote and get, Chris Dixon says you'd be surprised how bad reviews do sell products though. And I know, and I do know that. But with the sole intention of these products and finding and being selective, like I don't request every product I can find. Jim also brings up the point that, But honest answers, increase followers. No, yes. Absolutely. And I've had to reach out to companies before that I've gotten their products that I thought it would be a good product, because I do look into them before I request them. I could request thousands of products a day. And I probably request a couple dozen every couple days, because I actually make sure it's something that I know something about, that I could use, that I could quickly evaluate whether I think it's quality because I've owned something similar or know something about the product. That is my MO. And I've gotten some products that weren't up to expectations. And I reached out to the company and asked them, and they're like, yes, please post it. Post it. Yeah. Thanks for being honest. And so, yeah, it does increase followers. So I do like to be courteous and reach out to the company before I like blindside them with something too, though. And especially $150 camping chair that I was like, I can't even sit in this. So I'm hoping that it's user error for sure. But yeah, it is what it is. Pickle P says, order wood clearing tools, handsaws. Dude, you don't even understand. Corey and I sit here and talk about what we could use for the property, whether it be for our property, for the whole project as a whole. Like I talked to Baofeng, and they're sending me out a radio pack for communication on the property. Things like that. I'm not sure what Pickle Pete is paying shipping for. I don't know. Anyway, guys, it's an hour and 6. John Palmer asked if I read the directions, and no, there were no directions. Unless they're stapled on the inside of the bag or something. I am a directions reader. Don't worry. Anyway, Pickle Pete. Oh, hammocks. Yeah, we're gonna have hammocks. But I literally go in and search keywords for like metal shed. The shed was one that I just happened to see, and I was like, you know what? I could use a shed. You know where I could use a shed? I could use a shed on this new property for some place to put my shit, because I don't have anything. So all of a sudden, here we have a metal shed that I get to build and put up, and hopefully make money off of in the future. Doing video, doing content, and helping people know that it is decent to buy, because it is quite expensive. It is quite as expensive. So, Jim says I could use this shed. Well, wait till I put this up, and then you could use my link to buy it. Rewilder Life says somebody maybe will mail you hammocks. I'm sure they will. I look at all the furniture in there, and when we have the cabin, Corey, I was joking with Corey. I was like, we're gonna have one-offs of everything. 2 end tables, yeah, they're both different. They were both free samples from Amazon. We're gonna furnish our whole cabin with one-off samples. Oh, all right, guys. I'm gonna wrap up. We're at 8 after. I'm glad this went smooth. I was on the fence right before I hit go whether this was gonna go easy, but I think it's time to move on. Never will I forget that boy. It won't happen. But being able to get through the day without him will get easier every day, and the breakdown moments will definitely subside. So, yeah, I appreciate, like I said, all the well wishes in the community, in the groups, on the social medias, and it's been awesome. Oh, guys, it's been a good day. I definitely swing over and check out. Definitely go over and check out Pickle Pete over on the Food Forest Farms YouTube channel. Definitely head over to foodforestfarms.com. Check out the tab for One Take Records Seattle. New album available free for download there. It'll be released out on YouTube for everybody on Friday, so definitely follow over there at One Take Records Seattle and check out the music. Even if you don't like the music, you know somebody that will. You know somebody that does. You know somebody that you listen to their music and you're like, I don't really like that shit. I don't really like that shit. And when you hear this, you'll be like, hey, I know somebody that would enjoy this. Mike's Homestead said, did you see that Jack lost Charlie Monday? I did. Somebody mentioned that. So yeah, awesome. Yeah, weird. It comes in waves. But anyway, I appreciate everybody listening. If you enjoyed the show, it's always free to hit the like, share, and subscribe to return value for value. Please consider joining one of the YouTube membership tiers or listening on any value for value platform like Podverse or Found.fm. Hopefully we get this Noster thing figured out and we can go zappity zap 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 over there. Otherwise, you can hit me at lots@getlb.com if you need to send some zappity zap zap my way. I appreciate it, guys. We're going to get some work done. I'm going to head out and see what I can get done today. Pickle Pete says pre-release. It's his sermon in music. Love everyone, and definitely go check it out. Guys, making an awesome hump day. We're going to get a bunch of done, or I'm going to get a bunch done out on the property today and get back into the swing of things. We will circle back and catch up with you all tomorrow.